Senator, you heard that. Senator.
I have to leave, so I apologize, but I just want to say thanks to the speaker for coming down here. I want to thank the foundation for all their hard work and all that they're doing. The staff, as the speaker alluded to, and I probably can speak on behalf of my colleagues, from the standpoint of we know it's been very difficult the last 2 years with budget cuts and staffing and to the students as well, and the stresses that we've had because of the budget. And we thank you for enduring that difficulty because it has not been easy. And as the speaker said, we've had to make some very tough choices, but we acknowledge the work that staff has had to go through, how the foundation's had to step up to the plate, and certainly how students have had to work a little harder, dig a little deeper in their pockets, and we just want to put that on the table and say thank you for that. Also, I'd like to just, before I go, just say thank you to Representative Florin. She's not running for re-election, and she has always been here every single breakfast.
She has.
And
She
we
has.
appreciate it. Even at 2 or 3 in the morning, when everybody's grumpy, you always see a smile on Libby's face.
Right.
And she keeps us happy, and
We will miss
we
her.
appreciate that. So we're going to miss you.
We
But
will.
so anyway, I just want to say thank you to everybody for all that you've done. And thank you, David, for always hosting us, and Madam Speaker. She's my speaker, too.
Right, I know, right.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Senator, for your kind remarks. Are there any, oh, surely we see a hand. Are you all kidding me? There's nobody here who wants to offer a comment, a question? Okay.
Well, can I ask a question?
You can, or I will.
I'd like
Go ahead.
I'd like to know a little bit more too about the P-Tech and how that's going with IBM. I don't know if David, you might be able to fill us in.
Yeah. It just so happens, actually, I was visiting P-Tech in Brooklyn yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
And what it is that there is a school in Brooklyn called P-Tech that IBM, the City University of New York, the City of New York Public Schools has been supporting. And it's a school, you know, in a very depressed area of Brooklyn where right now there's about 380 students attending. And I was there yesterday with Commissioner of Education Pryor, with members of the superintendent, Manny Rivera from Norwalk, and other folks from the college and also from the Norwalk Public Schools. And it is phenomenal because what you find there are students who have such poise and confidence and are working together in teams. And probably the most impressive part of our visit yesterday, and it was my second visit to the school, was a virtual enterprise lab where a group of students come together and create a business. And they created a business that is a virtual business creating game applications. And they formed a business. They have a CEO, COO. They have a manager of publicity. They have business cards. And when we went around the room and asked these students to talk about themselves, what they said was not only was the experience there phenomenal, but the students who were in their junior years had somewhere between 30 to 35 college credits under their belt because of the relationship with the New York College of Technology. So what we're doing here is Norwalk Community College and the Norwalk Public Schools and IBM are going to model a similar thing at Norwalk High School. There'll be 100 students admitted to this academy come the fall. The students there will be Norwalk Public School students, but also NCC students. Our hope is that comes the summer, right before the sophomore year, they start taking college-level courses. And our hope is by the time they graduate from Norwalk High School, they also have an associate's degree from NCC. And the focus is going to be, you know, in computer engineering. IBM will do some of the underwriting of the human capital costs of this endeavor. But it is just phenomenally successful. And what is really great, and I have to give, you know, the governor a lot of credit for this, is that IBM is in New York. They were looking to go somewhere in addition to New York and had about 49 states competing for their attention. They came to Connecticut because we had a number of meetings in Hartford with them, with the governor and other state representatives and legislators available and there. And they want to use this as a template for what they want to do throughout the state of Connecticut. They provide internships to students in their junior years. They leverage other corporations. And what's great for us is that we get these students early. They become our students as they're becoming high school students. And so if there's remediation issues, if there's college ability challenges, we can take care of that before they come to NCC, and therefore we can put our resources in college-level education and not in remediation. So it's really just phenomenal. Lumen Education Foundation, their fall 2013 quarterly report profiled P-TECH, and it is just, I can't tell you what a phenomenal experience it is just to be there and to see these students thrive. And if they can do it in Brooklyn, we can do it in Norwalk, and we can do it throughout the state of Connecticut. Right. So it's really phenomenal.
Great.
Thank you.
Does anybody else have a thought or a question? So I would just ask the speaker, and I don't want to put you on the spot, and I know it's early in the session. This is a very quick session, so some of the committees have already come to their deadline. You very clearly articulated some of the concerns that are, that face you every single day. And I just wonder, do you have a sense now where we, the community colleges who are asking for money, would fit into that? And I don't expect you to be specific, but just a general sense of what you think about that.
Well, I think, as I mentioned, I think there is an acknowledgement, and feel free to chime in, the legislators in the room. I think there's an acknowledgement that we've done a lot for UConn, right?
Yes,
Yeah, which is the point. Which is the point that
I'll answer. Nobody else will, but I will.
we have. We've done a lot, and as I said, I think a lot of that has been appropriate, but if we really want to also accomplish the goals that we are setting for ourselves in terms of our economic future, that's going to happen through the Board of Regents. It's going to happen through UConn too, but it's got to happen through the Board of Regents. And I think there is, I don't want to overstate it, but I think there's a sense that, it's the board's turn in terms of investment and in terms of attention to be paid. I think part of it may have also been that the rolling out of the board had its troubles in the first year or two. So I think there is a sense that there was a sense maybe that we needed that to be corrected and kind of stabilized before we then moved on. But I would challenge you all to make sure that your message is getting to Hartford as to what I think those of us in the room understand how critical NCC and the rest of the community college system and the Board of Regents is for the things that we're talking about in terms of our economic future. But I'm not sure that's reached every legislator. I'm not sure that that's a message that everybody fully understands. And I think it's really incumbent on you all to make sure that that message continues to be told to legislators on a regular basis, to understand not only what's at stake, what the investment is, but also what the successes already are. Which to me is that's what gets me juiced, is to see how these things have actually started to yield results. That is tangible for any legislator, and I think to ignore that would be you'd be doing that at your peril, and I think at the state's peril. So tell the story. Keep telling the story, because I think it needs to be told. And if there's any doubt about the level of investment that we need to make in the board and its members, that'll dissipate if we all get the message that you need to tell us.
Thank you, Speaker. Okay. We really, and we do appreciate the support and the support of all of our legislators. Please, Terry.
I'm Terry Wood, I represent Darien and Norwalk, and I would also like to reinforce that point that I think UConn, we were all very happy to support UConn in that initiative. It's crucial we support the community colleges and the Board of Regents, because that is the future of the economic development in our state.
Right.
So I think those points are very well made.
Well, thanks. And also, I think, as Dr. Levinson and I were discussing at breakfast, it's that the model for the board is not unusual. I mean, other states have created that model. And the fact that you know, when you think back at it, and you think, well, wow, we had how many separate community colleges all over the state, and a separate state college system, and a separate charter oak, and UConn, all kind of, but particularly on the former, you know, all kind of working individually in their own, doing great stuff. But, you know, if we didn't have the synergy of getting all of those institutions together under one roof, I think we've missed some opportunities. And as I say, that's already yielding results. And I think before it used to be that, you know, you'd support NCC, or you'd support Naugatuck Community College, or you'd support, you know, name it, Gateway in New Haven, and that would be the entity that you would support because you're the legislator from that area. Now it's more, let's support the board, because the board is so critical, and we're all sort of in this together now in a way that we weren't before. So, yeah.
No, it's terrific. It's holistic and synergistic, and I'd also like to say, in addition to having a son who's a student here, my husband was on the foundation board for a number of years, so I've had a long relationship with NCC and tremendously respect everything you all do here. And to Senator Boucher's point, I did not realize that was a possibility, and I would not be supportive of that.
Right.
So, and I would love to thank the students who created this incredible event.
Of course,
I don't know if I'm doing that, but we will.
Thank you, Representative Ward. Thank you so much. Was there,
One event none of us miss.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's true.
yeah, I know, I can't see who it is. Oh, Gail, I'm sorry, I apologize. Representative Lavielle.
Thank you. You all are so wonderful about pronouncing Lavielle properly. That's my first compliment of the morning. Also, the NCC is really the jewel in our crown. It just really is everything from the endowment to the programs to management. We're very proud of having it here in our area. And I just wanted to throw out as a follow-up to everything that everyone has already said, because I thought it was such an excellent comment yesterday in higher education, something that the speaker has just said to us about the importance of all this unity. Representative Willis said yesterday in the Higher Education Committee, as we were discussing the foundation and some other matters, the synergy between the VOTEC schools and the community colleges and so on, that while the board is important, it must not forget itself. It must not believe that it is the purpose of its existence, that in fact the constituent units are the reason that it is here and the reason that it does everything that it does. And if it ever forgets that, we must remind it. And I just wanted to repeat that because I thought it was an excellent comment and pertains to so much of what we do. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any other? Oh, I'm sorry. Senator Leone.
Thank you, Moira. Thank you, Steve Sharkey, the foundation, the school. It's always a pleasure to come back here because, as you know, this is the best breakfast that we all have to go to on a number of things. So no one likes to miss this. But I wanted to reflect on some of the comments that the speaker made in terms of where we are and how we got here. Because I remember a few breakfasts ago here when we were talking about some of the concepts. I remember a term that we all talked about in this room about seamless transition for education for our students as they're in their high school years, progressing through college and then progressing into the workforce. And there really wasn't a seamless transition. Things were, all those different entities were sort of independent of themselves. And we spoke about that concept of, this is what we would like, and this is what we need to do. And this was only a few years ago, maybe 4 years ago. And now we're at the point where that seamless transition is actually occurring through some of the initiatives that this community college has been so important in starting up and making happen. And so now we're at the point where we as a legislature can now really fight on behalf of community colleges to say that we have the mechanism in place so that the dollars that we invest will actually be invested in our young folks as they're coming up through the system, as well as those that are already in place as they're almost into the workforce. So I just wanted to say thank you to everybody in this room who has been part of that conversation, part of starting that vision and making it actually occur in practical terms so that now we can execute it. And so all the pieces are in place. We now, as a legislature, have to participate and invest in you in return. And I think we'll be able to do that because we have invested in all the other higher educational entities. And as mentioned, I think now is the time to focus here because the need's even greater. But we have everything in place to do that. So, and it wouldn't have happened if we didn't start those conversations and we didn't have all the intelligent minds here to actually create that vision and not just talk about it, but actually make it happen. And whenever you have a vision, it takes a few years to accomplish. But we haven't lost sight of that. You haven't lost sight of that. So now I'm hoping that it'll make our job a little bit easier to produce for you. So I just want to thank everyone here for that. And Speaker Sharkey's vision is right on target as to where we need to go. So thank you.
Are there additional comments or statements? Y'all are pointing to somebody else. Huh? Oh, yeah, I know that, but I just wanted, before I would get to that, but I just wanted to know if anybody had any, questions or comments. As you know, this breakfast is because of the wonderful work that our culinary department does. And yesterday, I have to tell you, I got a little preview, lucky me. I came early, and so I got a preview of some of the wonderful delights that you all create. And where's the lady that did it? I don't know where she is. The lady, and there you are. There, raise your hand. Wonderful person. And you know, I have to tell her story because she was kind enough to give me all this wonderful dessert. And her story is she's one of 10 children. She is the first individual to graduate from a community college, to graduate with a degree. And I just think that's fantastic, lady. I know all of you have wonderful stories to tell, and if you all would introduce everybody who was so instrumental in providing this wonderful breakfast for us.
Okay, thank you, Maura. I'm Jeff Trombetta, and I'm a professor of culinary arts and hospitality. And this is 2 classes. This is my international food class. And some of them are actually leaving for France a week from Friday to the Midi-Pyrenees region in Academia de Toulouse. And also we have TJ's service management class, and some of his students are coming too. And TJ's coming to France. So there's 2 classes, we're sister classes, and the international theme is Northern European Scandinavia. So we did most of our curing, our smoking, our brining, our pickling, in the style of the Northern European countries. And so we hope we enjoyed it. We tried to make a very diverse menu. It was a lesson in presentation. It was really our first buffet. Normally we do plated menus. And so anyway, we had a lot of fun. We really enjoyed showing you what we can do and extending our hospitality to you and making you feel welcome. And so we're very proud. And I would like to, maybe Trevor can start us off, introduce himself, go down the line into TJ's class. And maybe TJ would like to address you, say something.
All right, good morning, everyone. My name is Trevor Horton. I did the French toast and the Puritan, and I hope everyone's enjoying themselves today. And I thank you all for coming.
Trevor, where are you from?
I'm from Weston. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
My name is Juan. I come from Stanford, and my role for this meal was pretty much a little bit of everything.
Hi, my name is David. I'm also from Stanford. Kind of had my hands on everything too. The mozzarella and the making the strawberry syrup and the French toast. I'll be graduating this spread and hospitality management.
How you doing, guys? My name is Tommy. Helped prepare the crepes today, and may all be graduating in NCC.
Hello everyone, my name is Monte. I'm from Connecticut, Connecticut. I helped out with the flowers for the parents and all the decoration and the cheese platters.
My name is Kamika. I'm from Bridgeport. I'll be graduating in May with my culinary certificate, and I helped out with the crepes and making sure all the food got brought out was actually done. And I was the chef's assistant.
My name is Angel Gray. I'm from Norwalk, and I help with a little bit of everything.
My name is Sarah. I'm from Bridgeport, and I'm teaching Jamaican.
My name is Carter. I'm from Bridgeport, and I did N13 soccer today, and it's been great.
My name is Taylor. I helped I made almond scones and food desserts.
Hi, my name is Lucas Dixon. I'm from Westport, Connecticut. I was in part of everything, with the everything. My name is Samantha. I'm from Norwalk, and I did a little bit of everything.
My name is Ruben Tover. I'm from South Carolina. I'm a culinary student, and it is an honor and a privilege to serve all of you today. Thank you.
My name is Mary Joseph. I'm from Springfield, Connecticut, and I did a little bit of everything today. And my dream is to have my own restaurant one day, and I hope you enjoy your meal today.
And Zach?
My name is Zach Sobey from Stanford, and helped out a little bit of everything, and I'm going for my culinary arts certificate.
And the reason why everybody did a little bit of everything is because we don't really practice recipes, and it's difficult for them to say that, you know, I made the potato cakes and things like that. We're more of technique and stations. So someone works the ovens, someone works the cutting the vegetables, someone works for presentation of platters. So we have stations, which is really the way it's done in a commercial environment. And because the recipes would be too broken up, it's a 3-day process to prepare the meal. And so we break down the food into what can be done 3 days before and hold up, and what can be done 2 days before. And we practice mise en place, which is, there's no literal translation, but it would be something like everything in its place before the last possible preparation. So you have mise en place, and you have a la minute, so to the minute. So now we have to finish the meal, and that's this morning, because we really only have less than an hour and a half to put it out. Most people come around 5:30 or 6, and you know, we shoot for 7, and then maybe 7:15 we're done. So it's that's a la minute. That's the last possible minute to do the final execution, providing we have proper mise en place. And that's the classical French way of teaching cooking.
Can I just say, on behalf of the legislators here, the fact that we did have to reschedule it from last week to this week, from what you're telling me now, I'm realizing how much preparation you did that had to be canceled last week. So on behalf of all of us, I'm sorry that happened, and I thank you for all that.
It worked out well, because the Thursday after the Wednesday, we had the lifetime learners.
They got a wonderful breakfast.
Oh.
Oh, they did well.
Beautiful. Okay.
They love you.
I was feeling
They love
guilty.
you.
I was feeling guilty.
They'll vote for you forever.
And they had kind of a brunch lunch, instead of the eggs going on the spinach and tomato casserole. What we did was we used the French toast actually, and we put a little chicken and mushroom on top of that and bacon.
Oh.
And then we, because the casseroles, for instance, as far as mise en place, the casseroles were done yesterday, lined with the tomato and the spinach and all buttered up. Today we came in, cracked an egg, and put them in the oven. So that was our mise en place. But anyway, the menu worked out well. I apologize that the ham was shredding, but that we smoked and cured ourselves. We didn't have time to do it. That was cooked, cooked twice basically, put in the freezer, brought out, cooked again. So again, it started to shred a little bit. So these are the things we deal with. These are the things we learn. How to extend food, how to store food, how to preserve the quality and the natural integrity of the product.
TJ.
Yes, my class is a service management class, and we are in the business of teaching these students R&R, which is return on relationship. You know, we're in the business of making customers, guests happy.
So, you know, if you have to, for example, if you need to succeed in this business, you want to make sure you make relationship. When you have a relationship, you know, the customers are your friends. So they will know, they will approach you. So that's what I'm trying to teach these students. And what I look forward to every year for this event, because what it is, you know, I wish we had more events like this, because these students have to learn. You know, they have to wake up early in the morning and to come over to work. You know, this is the real business. So it's good for, you know, to have this kind of events. And I look forward also to seeing you all the time. You know, in the morning, you know, every year, you know, like when I was a student here, I'm sure I've seen some faces here before. So it's great to see you here. It's great to have you here. And I commend you for coming and helping the school, also Norwalk Community College, because those are, you know, these are things that, you know, these students may need. And this is a great student college. All the community colleges are great, because myself, I went here and afterwards transferred to Canisius College and graduated and come back here to teach part-time. And I'm also in the business. I run a club, a country club. So thank you for all your help. We appreciate it. And please keep helping us. I wanted to introduce the students. I'm going to start the one in the closet over there. Why don't you say your name, introduce yourself? All right.
Good morning, I'm Stephanie, and I'm from Fairfield, and my major is hotel management and hospitality, and I hope that we provide you with excellent service this morning.
Oh, yeah, no.
Hi, I'm Christina. I'm from Norwalk, and my major is culinary arts, and right now I'm actually doing my major in restaurant management.
Hello, my name is Yawal. I'm in the restaurant management program, and I live here in Norwalk. Absolute pleasure to serve all of you today. Thank you.
My name is Erica. I'm from Stanford, also in the restaurant management program. Pleasure to serve you all. I hope you all enjoy it.
My name is Daniela. I'm from Stanford. I'm in the hotel management program, and I have
Good morning, my name is Daniel. I'm from Norwalk, and I'm in the culinary program. And thank you all for coming.
Good morning, my name is Tyson Ray. I'm in the restaurant management program, and I'm from Norwalk.
Good morning, I'm Robbie Durkin. I'm from New Milford, and I'm in the hotel management program, and I enjoyed serving you today.
And usually our classmates at 11 o'clock, and this is, you know, we've made them come early, so that's good.
Thank you. I just want to also introduce a few more folks. We have 3 students who've been helping with filming this event this morning. Omar Mercado is an education assistant. Omar. Daniel Aguilar. Daniel. Oh, right there. And James Macri. They're James.
He actually left.
Oh, he left. Okay. They're part of our film and TV production program, and another resource we bring to the table. Also want a special thanks to Judy DiArmas. Judy. Judy spends an enormous amount of time setting this up and preparing this event each year, and also is helped by numerous other NCC staff people, and I don't mean to slight the others, but this is Judy's thing, working with Maura, and you know, it's a phenomenal event that we have a privilege to put on every year, and just wanted to thank Judy. Well, I think we're done. There's probably more food. Oh, wait, please.
Yeah, I would be remiss if I didn't introduce our director, Dr. Tom Fela. And our chair, we're part of the business department, and our chairman, Tom Jackson.
Great, thank you, everyone. So thank you so much for coming Madeline, please.
Can we take a quick class photo of the legislators who are here?
Oh, that'd be great.
You won't leave, I won't give you one.
Great. Please, Madeline, who's Director of Public Relations, please. So again, thank you so much, and we look forward to everyone's support. Thank you. Thank you very much. Great job.